Alright, we're now live. I should get rid of this thing. Actually, I should tell you what the next challenge I have even is. So, turn 4, what do we got? Proper cooperative action for 360 seconds!
Yep.
That's a lot of seconds. Alright, let's go with that. But yes, things are in fact changing for Rebirth, so things changing the OG. But oh, don't worry, the Whispers are fine with that. Don't worry, we basically made bootleg Golden Saucer and Midgar perfectly fine according to the Whispers. The peak absurdity of certain remakes Whispers. The Whispers caused flew an entire army of them. And you may ask, what would he need? What would he need an entire army for? What event do you need to change to have that it requires an entire army of Whispers? Simple. They need an entire army so they can push Jessie down some stairs to break her ankle.
Okay.
No, that's not a joke. This is actually what happens. Gentlemen, yes, yes. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking, and yes, I made him see it. I made this man witness it. You don't understand. I wanted to name the stream Atlas intern gonna get fired, but Armando said no. Atlas intern gonna get fired, and that's tragic and awful for them. But benefits us. That poor soul. Yep. P3 Remake Persona 5 Tactics are both real things happening. Let's start with the one people aren't talking about enough of, which is P5 Tactics. Like the art style, mostly gonna have formation-based team attacks because that's the whole entire triple threat thing, which can't just say it's all-out attack. Otherwise, why would it call triple threat? Not call all-out attack. So, wondering how that's gonna go, and also what's the core theme connecting everything, since we had seems like two rapidly different kind of locales. I'm not crazy about the style. I've seen some people not that crazy about it either. Like this guy is not that crazy. Like Trigger Model's not that crazy about it, even though it's like. Are you new? Just the same called Persona Q1 and 2. Granted, his art style is different from those, but still chibi style. I've seen some people believe that because the leaker who leaked the info says Akechi's going to be in Tactics means that is it a P5 game, so after the P5 is going to have Akechi? One, I doubt it's going to be set at the P5 Akechi's in it. Two, I doubt Akechi's going to be in it to begin with, considering they said the P1 and P4 cast, then the P1 through P4 cast were going to be in the game, but then once they're proven wrong, they deleted that tweet, and people just forgetting that fact. Yes, we heard, we're talking about it right now, 8 Master. We are talking about that right now. The conversations, I'm literally talking about 25 Tactics right now. Before we talk about the best Persona game getting a remake.
Christ.
They better include the answer. According to the leaker, apparently the remake is not going to be an actual quote-unquote definitive edition, which makes the idea of doing a remake pointless.
That's on par for Atlas at this point. Is that Doctor?
Yes.
He's doing the shockwave.
Oh, are we just two floors? But I'm already seeing people disappointed that it looks like the Fem MC is not gonna be included in the remake.
Yeah, it looks like it's just Makoto only.
It's just like you're just redoing the same problem again. You're just you're just recreating the problem of what the reason people want a remake. They want all the content in one version of the game. I'm also seeing some people get upset that it looks like Tartarus is back, and it's like, yeah, Tartarus is an important part of the important P3 story. You expect it not to be there? Are you for real? Other people are saying the game doesn't look as polished as P5. Like, yeah, you know what else didn't look as polished as P5 before it came out? P5. Have people seen that ray trace of I've seen that ray trace of P5? Like they didn't even have the freaking font for the critical attack done yet when they showed off footage of that for P5. Hell, the characters go to locales that they shouldn't even be in early trials of P5. That's just a weird thing to complain about. This will open the door for remaking early games. That's what people keep believing. I still think that's kind of wishful thinking, but it's better than literally nothing. I hear people keep saying that, but it's very much just wishful thinking, but it's better than literally nothing. But all of this was supposed to be announced in the freaking uh Xbox showcase, and now it's just all out there. Someone's getting fired so hard for this. Oh my god. I'm also seeing some people upset that Kenji's social link is back. To which I go, did you think they're gonna remove social links? What the fuck?
Hmm?
Like, people thought they're gonna replace Kenji's social link with Junpei's, and it's like they're not gonna delete an entire character from the game. Freaking the Gourmet King shall not be deleted from P3. I will put my body as a shield to prevent that. Y'all need to experience the worst social link in the franchise. It is a rite of passage.
I hope they expand stuff with Chichiro more.
Yeah, I bet you would. Franklin's. If you want it as a med kit near one of the in front of one of the houses, it has a syringe in it. Should we go get it?
I'm healing Yui right now.
Oh, snap! Man to the side.
Oh, better waste my toolbox.
Something
Before
some
he does.
people worry about P3 remake being Persona 5 Persona 5ified. To which is like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. All you have to do is look at the freaking combat HUD to see how it's like trying to have its cake and eat it too, with this trying to do the circular shape of the freaking gun chamber from P3, but it's also trying to have the gameplay style of how P5 did it with the face buttons, each doing different action. So yeah, it's kind of gonna be Persona 5ified. I'm still wondering, will they make the locales bigger because they include a run button? But if you don't really have a big enough place to run in, what's the point of having a run button? Well, I mean, the benefit would be we can always go faster. But I'm just saying. It just feels weird like that. Now I'm just wondering what's up with that special attack for that leaked footage they had people saw that we had freaking a while ago. Oh no, my mech kit is completely depleted. I can't use a syringe. God damn it. Oh, no, gen's already finished. So I'm just wondering what's going on with that. Also, some people thought Tartarus wouldn't be as big as the OG. It's like, what's wrong with you people? Of course Tartarus is gonna be as big as it was before. Oh, oh fuck. I forgot I had freaking... I had freaking... I got caught in the bush! Fry off the record.
I thought that was the legendary Dead Hard.
I don't use Dead Hard. And you know that. Let's see what else. But also the fact that's coming out specifically early 2024, when people kind of thought it was about to get to come out this year, but it's better than Little or Nothing. Not much to complain about there. I've started wondering what genre has it Persona done at this point. Well, I mean, obvious one is racing, which is why people made a fan-made game many years ago called Persona 4 Karting All Afternoon as a joke. Where it's an actual P4 go-kart fan game. Just because people saw Dancing All Night and went, F it, go-karting all afternoon. So we could do something with that. So ever done a racing game? Probably won't. But again, it wasn't the same thing when it came to freaking a dancing game, so sky's the effing limit. But yeah, once again, they're truly not going to have all the content. I mean, it's kind of redundant. Also, happy 30th anniversary of Mainline SMT, guys. Man, Mainline fans are just drowning in all this Mainline SMT rumors and news. Like, thank you, Doctor. That was a perfectly timed scream to highlight the what we're drowning in. P1 and 2 Dancing 1. People have made the joke of dancing all right for years now. Why did I slow vote? People have made that joke for years. Hell, there's people who said, listen, y'all may be jealous of the Q games and the dancing games, but it's like you don't actually want those games to happen to P1 to the P1 P2 games, considering what happens to the quality of writing. Oh, further! No, wait out to spin. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but also like, do something with them. Do effing something with those games. Like, come on, man. Anything. Like, at least port them. Like, you port Mainline SMT. Like, Mainline SMT gets ported a lot in Japan, not in the West, considering like a bunch of those entries already localized in the West. But, like, do something with them. Do effing something with them. I still also find it weird how they wanted to announce both 3 Remake and P5T at the same time, considering, you know, one kind of has more emphasis than the other, even if one is a spin-off title that comes out sooner. But, like, kind of one's gonna ape the other, you know? It's kind of like how Water Final Fantasy was announced, and then right after they also announced Final Fantasy VII Remake. People immediately forgot about Water Final Fantasy that they literally got shown got showed a minute earlier. So, like, kind of one of those things where you're pretty much aping yourself, even if one comes out way later. I mean, it's like people mention a problem, but people aren't even talking about P5T, like, at all, despite being one of the announcements. I got completely leaked. Instead of more talking about... Hell, the most conversation I see about P5T is people complaining that the Royal and Striker's characters aren't in it. If you unironically expected both, you unironically expected both Sumere and Maruki to be, you expected Maruki, Sumere, Zenkichi, and Sophia to be another P5 game. Y'all are delusional. I'm just saying, Marie gets included in the P4 games. But think about it. What does she even do in those games? The answer is nothing. She's an Ultimax for like 2 minutes, says, I can't help you, I can't help you on their own, and does nothing in the story. She's in the Q games, but she just serves as a freaking 3DS feature and nothing else. She's in Dancing as DLC because she's not part of the game's actual plot. It's like earlier on Twitter, I was talking to someone who was complaining about how it makes no sense for Soccer to be a sequel to Royal because Sumeru's not in it, and it's like Royal gave you an excuse for why, and also she's not nearly as important as you think she is to the party. I try to say she's a major party member that needs to be in it. It's like saying Akechi is part of the group. And Akechi is so not part of the group that when you invite him for darts, no one else shows up. Everyone is so repulsed by that boy that they literally don't show up. It's only Joker and Morgana who play darts with Akechi. So it's weird how Sumere gets this bump of she's so important. Like, bro, I would not consider Metis to be part of C's. And yet you don't see the Metis fans screaming, when Metis not on screen, you should be thinking, where is Metis? Even though the answer gave you a reason for why Metis won't show up again. But as with shown with Sumere, people don't like being given reasons. They just want the character. That's like, what would Maruki even do? And we don't even know what Adam Kanmon would even do outside of his palace, considering its large size was only because it manifested in Maruki's palace.
He'll just continue asking you if you're sure about your choices.
Listen, man. I don't want to make that joke, but I'm pretty sure both Joker and Reality have punched the Messiah complex out of him.
And it's looking for the 4K.
So just a weird thing, like for people wanting the characters for the Phantom X makes sense. Mobile gacha game, you can literally do whatever. You can do literally whatever you want in that game. But to try and do that for freaking one that's supposed to be a canonical story thing, that's where it just gets weird. It's like you're literally asking to put in characters just for the sake of having them. It's like how people were unironically upset that the social links from P5 weren't in P5 Strikers. And it's like, what does it matter if the social links are in P5 Strikers? Why did someone feel the need to write an entire article about how freaking Hifumi wasn't in Strikers and asking Atlas where they take their girlfriend? Which is still weird and creepy to write an entire article about. Especially when you know the answer, which is she serves no purpose in the main story. Also, it's weird having someone tell me that Mishima, who's freaking runs the fan site and literally helps a party as an important person in regards to the freaking operations of the fan thieves, quote unquote, isn't part of the group, but they consider Sumere, who's barely talked to anyone in the party that isn't Joker and Morgana, as part of the group. Like, bruh, Mishima's been there longer and has done more than Sumere has done. I'm just saying. and yet they invite her over for celebrations and not Mishima. It's so weird. It's so weird. Nonsensical. Oh, Noed. Oh, they also had Noed. And No Way Out. They were fully prepared. Meters. West, rate, meters. Stack was right, increase area, puts on cooldown. Minus constars here, resistant illusionary radius. -3 constars for resistant illusionary terror radius. Wait, did I just say the same thing twice? That's a. Oh, intermittently and then constantly. Okay, that's the difference. That's the difference. I've also seen people people pre-cuttings about P3 being P5ified is people saying they managed to make it like P5 while not losing the aesthetic of P3. To which I go, no, no, I don't agree with that take. Now the question is, though, the almighty question that should be put in the forethought of everyone's mind the moment they announce a P3 remake. Will they change Junpei's voice actor?
Oh shit.
I only know some people who are thinking that.
Oh fuck.
And
Yeah, they probably will.
some people are taking bets who will voice Junpei in the P3 remake. Some people are betting it's gonna be Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah, I get it.
Some people are taking bets there's gonna be if they take over the role gets taken over. To which I go, listen, I'm just saying, if Junpei's VA gets the boot, then you know for a fact that I guess his VA is getting the boot too.
Oh shit! Damn it!
I'm just
Forgot
saying,
about that.
people are forgetting that part. If you believe Junpei's VA is getting the boot, so is Aigis' VA.
Bruh.
Huh, what did I miss, huh? Talk about stuff for the P3 remake and how people are questioning if Junpei's VA will be recasted. To which I say, if Junpei's VA gets recasted, then for different but still reasons, they'll have to recast Aigis. The simple answer, controversies regarding the voice actors. The VA for Junpei and Aigis have had a lot of controversy surrounding them by this point, and so people may feel like they would probably get recasted. It's like how Junpei's VA also voices Broly and DBZ and DBZ and Dragon Ball Super Broly. But Dragon Ball Super Broly, but when Broly was shown in Fighters and in freaking Dragon Ball Super Superhero, his VA was recasted to Johnny on Bosch. What did they do is a long story that I am not professionally equipped to handle. But let's just say, to narrow it down, Junpei's VA has been both accused and technically proven in court to have been a sex pest. Aigis' VA, I can't even say it on stream, but anti-vax, and to keep it from stream getting obliterated, I'll just say also alt-right. Hence why I feel like if one person goes, then they have to get rid of both. It's a situation where it'd be weird if they got rid of one and not the other. Although I also know Alice would get pushed back if they kept them both for the remake. Either way, it's a situation that only few are talking about, only few are thinking about that fact. But yeah, it's also the reason why freaking Dragon Ball Super Broly, Junpei's VA, whose name is Vic Banana, a very well known very well English VA, got recasted when Super Broly got added to Oddsblight got added to Fighters, and also when Broly showed up for a bit in Dragon Ball Super Superhero, he also got added to his new voice, who was played by Johnny Bosch.
Oh man, Guy CC vibes all over again.
But yeah, it's a whole can of worms with both cases. Although the Karen, I'm pretty sure I guess it's named Karen Strassman. That's more of a simple one. But the Vic one is a whole can of worms because it was going on for years of a court
And
incident.
barbecue.
Guy see he who?
Oh my god.
Do you know more details of Guy Seek? I've heard people say something about Guy Seek, but most I know is the fact that he was the reason Silent Hill 2, Silent Hill 2 HD almost didn't get the original voice cast back because he said how it's not about the money, it was really about the money. Or is it gonna be like Ruben Langdon? Ruben Langdon is kind of effing nuts. Man lives in the woods and made an entire documentary that may or may not have had.
Alright, there we go. God forbid I run a perk in this game. Woo!
That may or may not
BM
have
on
had
hook,
agenda.
baby. That's right, slap away.
Yeah, for some reason I thought you were the Jill. But yeah, it's one of those things where will they recast the VA or just leave it as is? Who knows? That's a question we'll find out when they actually have voice clips for the remake. Either way, people are already taking bets on who will be voicing Junpei. I mean, there's a lot of yikes things that you can freaking just go about in freaking any industry. Imagine they get Dante's VA. I mean, Dante's VA actually played Dante in SMT3 Nocturne HD, which of course he didn't play him in the OG not in Nocturne original Western release because well he wasn't the voice of Dante by that point. It was still DMC2 Dante's VA. But Ruben Langdon actually played Dante in Nocturne HD. So it's not as if Ruben Langdon doesn't get work. Still involved with Capcom projects. Last I heard, I don't think Ken Masters in Street Fighter 6 got recasted. So it's none of them reason to believe that they're gonna recast it. Just the fact that Ruben Langdon's kind of nuts. It was one of those things that people kind of talk about as a joke, but it's like, dude's just weird. I remember hearing stuff about DC Douglas though.
Oh yeah.
As true as those claims are, I can't say. Honestly, it's kind of moot when the entirety of the Resident Evil cast is all being recasted. So it's kind of a moot point to single out DC Douglas. Alright, it's like how another one, which this one should turn out to be incident. Quentin Flynn. Quentin Flynn is most known for his performance as Raiden in the Metal Gear Solid games. He also voices Axel in the Kingdom Hearts games. He also voices Henry Cooldown in No More Heroes games, except for No More Heroes 3. The reason being that at the time he was accused of being a stalker. He was able to prove that he was the stalker, he was the stalked.
Thing, you've never been hooked. Stop being afraid, Jesus Christ.
So that ended up ending
Well,
more.
guess I'm dying.
That ended up ending more in his favor but also the fact that freaking his chance to be in No More Heroes 3 got just smack me, just smack me, just smack me,
He's
just do
going
it.
for the grab. He's not gonna do it, and Feng's too fucking afraid to make a move. Never been hooked, by the way. Oh man, I'm having fun.
Yeah, Quentin Flynn got to a whole debacle because of that and lost his chance to voice Henry Cole on No More Heroes 3 to the point where No More Heroes 3 had to give a story reason for why he no longer has an Irish accent. And it's one of the goofiest things in that game, which is saying something with No More Heroes franchise filled with goofy stuff. I mean, it's like how another thing is how people joke, how Good Luck Charlie fans actually joke that in the Disney Channel show Good Luck Charlie that the kids were all raised by a single dad. The reason being, once again, the actress from the mom in that show doing not so good things. So people basically just prefer to pretend she didn't exist and go, isn't it amazing how a single dad managed to raise like 4 kids? That's one of those, yeah, I can see that. We want to juxtapose that to Kim Rhodes, who played Carrie Martin in the Sweet Life series. And freaking she still has a good relation with the fans, to the point where the fans joke that freaking Carrie and Zach reminded people of freaking Bakugo and his mom from My Hero, and her response to go, I mean, I can see the resemblance. And she also Kim Rhodes also voices freaking Mariko in Persona 5 Strikers. Something I mentioned during in the playthrough. When Armando initially called Mariko a carrot, I'm like, you're close. It's Carrie. It's Carrie Martin. Well, not something really that bad in the grand scheme of things, but still stupid to say, is Tara Platt, who played Mitsuru in Persona 3. She also plays
Tamari.
And she also plays Yuri in the Spider-Man PS4. Like I said, this isn't anything truly that bad. It's just incredibly stupid to say. And it had to do with the whole debacle of Peter Parker's face being changed for the remaster happened. And people were upset about it. And she basically tried to downplay the work of a facial actor, saying that who cares about facial actor work because the real hard workers are the VAs. And it's like, you don't just take a dump on people that's part of the development of the game like that. That's just a dick move. Let me get it. You really want to defend freaking Yuri Lowenthal, especially since you're literally married to the guy. But people weren't bashing Yuri Lowenthal; they were bashing Insomniac specifically. So it's just weird to say something that incredibly not even dumb. Well, like I said, Tara Platt didn't f up. Didn't f up her whole deal with freaking Persona when they were jobs. It was the fact that was just something stupid to say. That's why I said like it wasn't that bad, professional wise. Which is professional, kind of stupid to say. Another one is actually Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses. The Byleth's VA had to not only be recasted, it had to be recasted after the game came out. The voice of Byleth that you probably associate with him, not typically male Byleth, the voice of male Byleth you probably associate with him is actually a recast. So here's what happened. The original VA was someone who was actually known on the internet for doing a whole lot of animations regarding the Smash Bros. Series called Kerbifer. Now, here's what people think why he got fired.
Was that?
Kerberfer was proven to have been essentially emotionally abusive towards his girlfriend. That's why people think he got fired. That is not why he got fired from Byleth. The actual reason is that he broke NDA. He essentially bragged that he would, because he basically knew that Byleth, that being a protagonist of a Fire Emblem game meant that you're basically guaranteed to be in Smash Brothers. He bragged how he was going to be in Smash Brothers, which basically meant he had to give away that he voiced male Byleth, which is breaking NDA. And that's why he got fired. And so the new VA is Zach Aguilar, who voices Natsume in freaking Persona 5 Strikers. He also voices Arrow in Soul Hackers 2. And he voices Koichi in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. Funny enough, Zach Aguilar occasionally gets... People think he sounds like Yuri Lowenthal, which is kind of funny. Including Armando over here thought that too. And we had a freaking game of chicken where I didn't want to say the fun fact about Zach Aguilar voicing Natsume until he mentioned Yuri Lowenthal, but he refused to mention Yuri Lowenthal because he was scared of being wrong. Okay, every time I hear things like this, maybe it's sad because you're scared and you threw it all away. Who wants to know one of the most tragic ones that honestly I should be talking about on stream, but F it, we're on a roll.
Okay, I'm back.
You came back at the wrong time.
Why?
Let's talk about when it comes to colossal F up in voice acting. Let's talk about Mega Man Legends.
Oh no.
See, this man remembers. I told him years ago. He remembers what I'm going to talk about. So, Mega Man Legends, there's one character in the game who's part of the Bond family named Teasel Bond. In a game with such goofy and awkward voice acting, because PS1 era, he easily had the best performance in the game. And he was amazing. The Jill DC'd.
Oh.
But freaking... Here's the thing. So this VA was actually up and coming and on the rise, and throughout the years, he was actually basically going to become like one of the most well-known VAs in like Canada, apparently. So he was going up there. And now we talk about how it all came crashing down. I'll try to say it as stream-friendly as possible. He was part of groups that involved CP and got arrested for it, and basically all he could say to his family for that was just basically saying that he was sorry as he got arrested. Eventually he got out of jail, and rather than changing his ways, he just did it again, and while on the run from police, he self-termination, all I can say.
Basically.
Like, that's why I said it was awkward to talk about on stream, but it's one of the most infamous things in terms of voice acting when it comes to the Mega Man series. Because, my god.
Already getting stiff from the cringe again.
My god. Also, Lord help any of these people in this lobby who decide to watch back this stream to see that match sweat. That's not gonna be a fun time for them. But yeah, he had it made, and he was a freaking pedo.
Woo!
And then, freaking, rather than going back to jail, self-termination while on the run. Like, oh my god. Wait, what? Hey, Master, wait, what? Or did you not hear that last part the first time? They commit self-termination on the run. So you meant that in his contract. You mean no. Self-termination as in he I can't even say because you two freaking annihilate me. But no, while on the run from the police, he committed self-termination.
Yeah.
Like, there is no good about the situation with this guy at all. Now, for people who committed crimes and got away with it, which not regard to voice acting, but it's still effed up. I want to say comment. Go ahead. But I don't want your stream to get nuked. uh, yeah, time for a more infamous example of a person who committed crimes and got away with it. This is unrelated to voice acting, but I'm still mentioning it. The mangaka of Rurouni Kenshin.
Jesus Christ.
Armando's
Here
like,
we
why
go
are you doing this
again.
to me? Armando's like, why are you doing this to me? Just talking about the worst of crimes tonight. Infamously, police. Okay, do y'all actually want me to stop?
I mean, I'm fine. It's just oof.
Please, let me guess. Alright, alright. Assault? No. There's a thing. He didn't get jail time because of because of a freaking technicality. The mangaka Rurouni Kenshin was arrested with an insane amount of CP. When told to defend himself in court, he just said, "I like little girls." He didn't go to jail because apparently at the time he purchased it, it wasn't considered illegal. Which is like, excuse me, what? So instead, he had to pay a fine and possibly snatched on where he got it from. And he gets to go right back to working for Shonen Jump, making more Rurouni Kenshin. In fact, Rurouni Kenshin's getting a new anime, I think either this year or next year. And people are like, how? How did he get away with that? How did he get away with that? Man's still working at Shonen Jump to this day. Shonen Jump's like, you go right back on there, go back to making more Rurouni Kenshin. And people said, in hindsight, we should have seen this coming, and Rurouni Kenshin's main romance involves a 16-year-old girl and a man in his 40s. So, in hindsight, the signs are right there. But it's one of those, your brain just lights up at hearing that going, how? And it's like, well, technically it wasn't illegal. Like, the F you mean it wasn't illegal at the time? What the fuck?
Yep.
Can we go back to the happy?
I already feel like I'm fucking frozen.
I got one more that involves crimes, but it's not crimes done to another person. It has to do with an actor for Judgment/Judge Eye, which is a spin-off of the Yakuza series, where one of the supporting characters was played by an actor who later, after the game already came out in Japan, was found out. This person also is the Japanese VA for Olaf from Frozen, but he was later to have found out that he had done cocaine, and Japan sees drugs as Deathslinger. Sees drugs as serious business. to the point where even getting accused of using drug. I throw myself to a corner. What's wrong with me? Deathslinger, you ain't living that one down, Deathslinger. So because he got caught with cocaine, basically Japan did what many consider being erased. Where if you know cocaine in Japan, they practically erase your entire existence. This is low compared to the 100 earlier. I know, that's why I said it's a crime, but it's done to the self rather than it's done to somebody else. Wait, yeah, go ahead. That is bad, but the other isn't. Like I said, the reason the mangaka didn't get arrested was because technically it wasn't illegal when he purchased it. That was a technicality. They couldn't charge him when technically at the time it wasn't considered illegal. The issue was the fact that Shonen Jump didn't see an issue and let him go right back to making more Rurouni Kenshin. The fact that Shonen Jump didn't care. But yes, this man did cocaine and got erased. By erased, I mean anything he worked on basically had his credit removed and also had his work removed. For an example, Judgment and Frozen had to cease physical copies being released in order to replace him. There was a point in time where Kingdom Hearts 3, Olaf had no Japanese voice. They just deleted the voice work until they got a new VA. So there was a point in time where Olaf had no VA. And Fred had no VA in Japanese. That is the thing that happens where you're caught with cocaine, you're erased. And speaking of cocaine and erasure with the Yakuza franchise, there was an actor who played a character in Yakuza 4 named Tanomura. This actor was accused of doing cocaine. He did not. He did not actually do cocaine. He got accused by his friend who was jealous of his success. And so because of this incident, but because of the fact that he almost got erased over an accusation, he basically decided to just completely quit the industry. Which is why when Yakuza 4 HD came out, they had to get a new facial model for the character. Which is why Yakuza 4 and Yakuza 4 HD, Tanomura's face looks way different. Japan takes drugs very seriously. Yeah, crimes. On a more lighter note, a fun fact kind of thing. When Yuri Loto was revealed to be the VA of Peter Parker, of Spider-Man and Spider-Man PS4, he mentioned how he basically always dreamed of having a role like playing Spider-Man. Thing is, he has played Spider-Man before. Twice, in fact. Granted, those were more very obscure entries, but there were times where he did play Spider-Man before. So people are like, "What do you mean, Harry Lowenthal? Don't you remember you played Spider-Man and this and this?" It was just one of those funny things. Another funny thing, which involves the voice actor Troy Baker. At least one gets a dark aspect. But anyway, Troy Baker. I can't remember what event, but it was an event where a reporter basically asked Troy Baker to do some lines as characters he's played. And at the end, he did a bit where he had to play as... I believe it was he had to play as Nolan North, who's a good friend of his. So he did a joke about Nolan North basically being like... kind of like freaking... show offy or like being like, "Hey, I play Nathan Drake," and then awkwardly Nolan North walked by and he's like, "I'm gonna get punched in the car later." Like awkwardly Nolan North walked by, heard what he heard his impression of him, and was not pleased. So that was just one of the most funsy things. The other funsy thing is Matt Mercer when it comes to Overwatch. There's a point in time with Overwatch 1 where Matt Mercer, what apparently he said while playing Overwatch 1 would occasionally do his McCree voice and shout "It's high noon" into the voice chat, making his entire team freak out when there wasn't even sometimes it wouldn't even be in enemy McCree. Am I healing me? I need healing first. Okay, I'll heal you. Okay, heal me. Which is it, man? So that's just a funny thing of taking advantage of things. Take advantage of your vocal range. Freaking what else? Finally, wholesomeness.
Is coming.
I'm trying to think of another. I can't remember the name of the VAs, but I want to say this one. It's also a more wholesome fun fact. Hey, dang! I think it was like the original VA of Bugs Bunny, but I was like a very famous VA who could do like many voices, and he did like the entire freaking Looney Tunes cast.
Yeah, God, his name slips me, but I know what you're talking about. The one from like way back in the 40s and 50s, right?
Let me see his name. Mel Blanc, that's what it was.
Yes, Mel Blanc. His name escaped me.
But yeah, there was a point where Mel Blanc.
Nice perk.
There was a point where Mel Blanc was in a coma in the hospital, and they weren't able to get him to wake up. And so the doctor just, the name of the killer is I can't even know how to pronounce it. It's just two different memes. Anywho, the doctor decided in order to try and get Mel Blanc to wake up, they decided to play into the fact that he voiced Bugs Bunny and said paging Bugs Bunny, to which Mel Blanc immediately woke up saying, "What's up, Doc?" And it worked. Playing into one of his characters worked. And managed to get him to wake up out of the coma he was in. It's like how we're not voice actor related. YouTuber Gerard the Completionist actually mentioned how when he first played TMNT 4 Turtles in Time, it was because it was actually an accident where he ended up in a coma, and his mom was telling his dad how he's in a coma and the doctor's having trouble waking him up. To which he said his dad didn't believe he was in a coma, and kept telling him to wake up, but it didn't work. To which he then just said, and I just said, I have found the biggest effing Ninja Turtles doll in the world. Wake the F up. And it worked. He immediately woke up saying, "We're coming home, Dad." The stuff that wakes people up out of comas is sometimes just completely wholesome and hilarious. Even if the act of being put in a coma is not wholesome at all. The power of just saying, I have found the biggest effing Ninja Turtles doll in the world. And it worked. Got him out of the coma. And his dad did buy a giant freaking Ninja Turtle plushie, along with a copy of TMNT 4 Turtles in Time. Now, this next one, once again, not VA related, may or may not be wholesome, depending on who you ask. is the fact that Yuji Naka, one of the three credited creators of Sonic the Hedgehog, is in jail. Why? Because he committed several counts of insider trading, and this is when he was working at Square Enix. This man also helmed the development of Bottom Wonderworld, which was a massive flop, and I'm so upset. When I saw Bottom Wonderworld, I was excited. I thought it looked nice, but the more we found out about it, the worse it got. But either way, he committed insider trading and was fined, and that's not going to jail. I mentioned this because there's a point when there was an anniversary for the Knights franchise. He posted a picture of the dev team, but he explicitly removed one of the other people credited as being creators of Sonic, Naoto Oshima, who typically created Sonic's character design, from the picture. People were like, why? He basically blames Oshima and Square Enix, essentially claiming that they essentially sabotaged Bottom Wonderworld. Which is like, what? Now, cut to now, where Yuji Naka is going to jail for insider trading. Meanwhile, Naoto Oshima has come back to the Sonic franchise and actually made the new design for Sonic Superstars. And people are like, Oshima's back to designing for Sonic, and Yuji Naka's in jail. All is right in the world. That's why it's like, depending on how you see it, it's either a good thing or a bad thing. Ooh, and Trial Tournament. Let's go to Trial Tournament. And Dark Devotion. Armando, we've been over this.
I was healthy. I wasn't injured. How do I do that fucking face thing? Let me see. No. I don't know if I did it right. Whatever. Yeah, not until she even work out something related to a Sonic franchise for so many years. Interesting. One that it's a weird thing involves Tommy Tallarico, who's a composer and also, I believe, also does freaking. Also had no sound design. The reason this is tricky. This guy has many claims to fame, which is he has many awards. But one thing he did that caused his whole mystery to unravel is where he bragged how he is essentially the one who created the oof voice clip from Roblox. This one claim would essentially lead to this spiral where someone did an entire video that's so crazy and nuts, and it was just about the oof sound. It turned to this giant mystery of questioning, did Tommy Tallarico do anything he ever said, because he has a problem of constantly exaggerating his own achievements and feats. Like, first it was his studio made the oof sound, then it was I was personally the one who recorded who recorded it with the child. Then it was in detail entire thing and naming and describing who the child was. Meanwhile, the child in question, in person, and the parent of that child's like, what is he talking about? It just turned into the giant thing of, does this guy ever actually tell the truth? Is he just obsessed with his own hype? And he's also the reason that Roblox had to get rid of the oof sound effect.
because he basically sued for royalties for something that he may not even made to begin with. There's also a dude who also mentioned how he didn't like the music in Sonic games, and yet he would also then go on to compose several tracks for Song of the Black Knight, which I must now question: did he actually compose soundtracks for songs for Song of the Black Knight? Who knows what's true and false? Speaking of the ultimate true or false when it comes to, well, two ultimate true or false when it comes to freaking music and gaming. One, the composer for Dragon Ball Z Budokai games who freaking plagiarized his work constantly. I think he also plagiarized his work for the Kai anime as well. For Kai anime as well. Because at that point, people thought the Kai anime was completely cancelled. Is the release responding to Budokai? Yes, the original version of the Budokai games, the music's plagiarized. Like, people make comparisons to what tracks in the Budokai games are plagiarized. It's why the HD version of Budokai 1 and 3 have a completely different OST. Yeah, those songs were bangers because they were based on banger songs. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's also why in Budokai 1 and 3, the OSTs were completely swapped out. But another thing, probably one of the most infamous cases of not plagiarism, but ghostwriting in regards to gaming, is the composer for many of Resident Evil titles. I'm going to find his name real quick. Let's see. There we go. Mamoru Samuragochi is the one who basically lied about writing the tracks for many Resident Evil titles, and the actual ghostwriter was Takashi Nigaki. Either way, the person basically wants to brag as being this major. Basically, he wants to essentially be the Japanese Beethoven, by trying to basically brag how I'm a famous composer and I'm deaf. Meanwhile, he had a ghostwriter actually write the tracks for him, and it's also the reason we got the infamous basement theme for Resident Evil 1 Director's Cut. I'm so surprised someone actually put that in the game. Reminder: someone had to code that into the game and went, "Yeah, this sounds fine." They think he can get away with it? Dude got away with it until like Resident Evil 6. He only didn't get away with it because the person he paid basically snitched.
Lethal.
Oh dear. Like, he got away with it for years. I remember around Resident Evil 6 was when his info got found out. Like, he got away with it for years. It's night.
Great.
So yeah, I hate to say, you probably thought you got away with it. But that's like one of the most infamous cases, like, dude just paid a guy to write the tracks as he would try and brag about basically being Japanese Beethoven. Trying to think of another case, any other big, more lighthearted cases. I do not want to say the first one that came to my brain. Deleting that. Anywho. Let's see what else.
Damn.
I don't want to say actual lies were committed. It's just one of those things that kind of goes down in history, even if it wasn't actually true. This one being that Keiji Inafune is the father of Mega Man, he is not. He was not around during the creation of Mega Man, specifically the character. So the fact that he's credited as being the creator of the father of Mega Man is not true. Instead, he is the one who created Zero. So he did do a big thing for the Mega Man franchise. But as for the OG classic Mega Man, no. No. But it's one of those things that kind of got past that he was attributed to. It's kind of like how for Mega 10, specifically from mainline SMT and early Persona, people just think that Kazuma Kaneko only did the art for the demons, when in reality he would also help write for those games. So he helped write for early Persona games, and he even freaking wrote an entire ridiculously long. He was supposed to write a short like template for the story of SMT4. Practically wrote an entire game himself, and only like a chunk of that was actually used in the final product. To the point where people wish that the whole thing was used in the game. There's one of those things that people generally don't attribute to him, because people just attributed for his artwork.
No, I haven't once got any progress on the cooperation challenge.
I barely got progress on it. Meanwhile, freaking... Also, another thing about Kazuma Kaneko. I don't know when it stopped, but for a good many years, he would make even some of the most famous pieces of art for the Mega 10 franchise with a mouse.
I'm near you on this gen.
Dude made some of the most insane artworks for the Mega 10 franchise on effing mouse. And it's like, huh? So it's like they're artists, they're good with Jews. Kazuma Kaneko can make some of the most, specifically like when it comes to SMT3, some of the most well-known pieces for that game done on a mouse. Never give up on your dreams, kids. If a motherfucker can do that on a mouse, you can keep going. Wait, did Fengo get...
No, Feng ran away. He's proxying Feng. I mean, he's proxying Lori.
Come after us. Sloppy butcher. I made it.
I'm like, what is the radius on this thing? Like, the fact that it hits my toe and it counts.
Another thing of not necessarily big... Oh my god, I went for Lori.
Ooh, he's tunneling Lori.
Also Franklin's. Let's say that.
I have no items, so I'm good.
But
Whoa. My fucking toe again? What is the radius?
another thing that's more surprising fun fact than anything is the fact that TMNT franchise, despite being this big kid-friendly franchise, originally started with the creators essentially just making basically a violent freaking more violent version of freaking, I think it was freaking Daredevil. Yeah, it was based on Daredevil. And that became an entire giant goddamn IP. It's still alive to this day. So much just one of those weird things of things that were not child friendly being made. Hey, can we make it child friendly? And someone goes, sure, and there goes Lori.
Rip.
It's like how Cat Scratch was originally in the comics it's adapted from, not child friendly in the slightest. It was actually a violent freaking graphic novel. And then Nickelodeon was like, "Can you make this for kids though?" It's kind of like how so many things had their own freaking children's cartoons adaptations, like how freaking Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat had a freaking kids cartoon animation. Be like, hey, make this for kids. Well, Street Fighter makes sense. It's already rated like a T franchise. It's already good for kids.
Fair
But
power.
Mortal Kombat, real like make Mortal Kombat for kids. And it's like, okay.
Cool.
Here's-
Nice add-on.
Here's Sonya Blade saying combat time obnoxiously. I was thinking it might have been.
Swinging for.
I was thinking it might have been the first instance of freaking Quan Chi showing up in a Mortal Kombat property.
I wish Fang would sit on that gen. There was a gen at 80. I don't know how far it regressed.
How people say that Mr. X from Resident Evil 2 Remake is only called Mr. X because they want to make a toy as a character, and so they need to give the character a name. So they went with Mr. X. It just became the fan name. And I went for you.
There we go. Yep. Got a kill rush since we gen rushed. I know.
And Jenny Ron has regressed back to 0. And I want to try and find the gen Fang was on, so I'm going to just do the gen you were on, try and get a belt back up. Assuming the character that... Oh, Fang's right there. Fang, what was the plan there?
Oh, good luck to you.
Don't kill yourself on hook. I need time. I need time bots so I can get this gen done.
Fine.
I just realized the Fang's name is the shits.
Sending a night out probably your way.
Yep. Oh, damn, he died. And now he's coming this way. Hopefully he didn't see me go in a locker. Fun by daylight, LMAO.
Yeah.
I'd be so mad if I were him.
My God, you turned French.
Oh, you don't understand. Garçon. He would have got me out of the locker, but he accidentally picked the wrong locker at the last second.
Oh, I thought he got blast mine because when I spectated you, I saw a bright light.
No, he did, but he checked the locker. But he
Oh.
picked the wrong locker by accident. That's why I'm like, I'd be so pissed if I were him because he should have gotten that grab.
He broke off to hit the other gen. Feng had it at 80. Now he's chasing Feng. She's running far from that gen. But
Yeah,
yeah, he's not falling for it.
And there's no powder here for me to use. Great. How did he miss that?
Oh, just behavior.
No, I don't care what went down. That second hit shouldn't have happened. You're living that one down. I should not be getting enough footage of killers whiffing close-up hits to make a compilation out of it, but apparently I'm at. Apparently I am.
Can't tell if early or behavior things. Maybe a little bit of both. Sometimes that auto aim really does fuck people
Since he
over.
knows where Fang is, I might as well just try and go 4%.
Yeah, he instantly knew where she was. Probably heard her.
4%. Nope. Never when it matters. Never 4% when it matters. Tragic. What am I doing? I'm gonna let himself die and hook. I needs all the chance she can get.
Fang, look the other way. Fang! Oh my god. And he's shaking no. Look, buddy, I get it. We gen rushed, okay? But you won. Relax.
And I'll try it. We probably freaking 3-gen ourselves.
Yeah, we 100% 3-gen ourselves. So even though we gen rushed, we fucked ourselves in the process.
The holy smut. Like he just immediately stopped talking after that.
Yep, there it is. Lethal Franklin's no way out, sloppy.
Healing breakout. Fang was going for sabotages.
She got successful once, and then never again. Maybe one day this challenge will be done.
Man, my challenge bar is now at 151 and 3 out of 360.
My challenge bar is at 142.
I mean, that's not far off. We're still doing good. Doing fine.
Give Sybil some love.
Why? Dude, the Twitter sex bots keep showing up in my mentions.
Oof.
Get up, stop liking my tweets. Yo, y'all seen the meme of New York bleeding like Blade Runner? Seen it. 1, we lived it. 2, yes. Actually, yeah. 1, we lived it. 2, yes. 3, also one with Godzilla. Bro, this is far from the first time I said we're from New York. I did a video from Nintendo New York. It's not available anymore. I got rid of it. It wasn't good quality. But the point still stands. I freaking name drop freaking high school I used to go to. If someone wants to send themselves there, suffer. That place sucks. Right, you've been doing anyone a favor by showing up at Hostel's freaking. What do you want? Hostel's freaking A. Randolph. Just be waiting for you there. Other than pain and raccoons. Why are there goddamn raccoons in the city? See what tweets I got. TP Dark Soul, okay. Obfuscation. You're out from the case that trailer earlier. He mentioned his fan plays DBD like Sadako. I bet Jerry loved that. Dude literally popped up in the freaking Discord being like, he said he likes Sadako. I'm like, okay, cool. It's alright. It's okay. Now it makes me wonder if Nick Cage's reveal was supposed to be at Summer Games Fest and Behavior actually had to announce it early because of the leaks.
Probably, yeah.
Seems like that would have been like the big stage to announce it, especially since it doesn't come out till next month. For me, I'm probably indifferent, mostly because I rarely buy skins in this game. It's little survivors. The art's reaction when it showed gameplay. When I saw that, I'm like, they're trying to make DBD look big, action, and heart racing. And it's like,
Lethal.
it's
Oh,
like,
get away from me.
Armando, that was effed up.
I have Jeff's perk, okay? He can't see me. If I'm near you, he's gonna find both of us.
Yeah, I could turn that into a very awkward situation real fast.
Oh, oh my god, I didn't even think of it like that. Oh my god. God damn it. Also, who is it?
Oscar. Oh, the fact that you got it without me even having to say it. Ooh, ooh, saw my fake out coming. Nice, this one is nice. Wow, Gord. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing, okay? Y'all are putting words in my mouth. I didn't say nothing. Nothing was said.
SMH. SMH.
SMH. I'm innocent, I tells ya.
181 now that I did with Jen with Ash.
I did nothing.
Never mind, nobody's getting you. Okay. Ash, you know there's somebody on the fucking hook, right? Nah, the Jen's more important. What's a 4v1? All I know is have sex with Jens.
Oh my god, you actually made that. What the hell?
Holy shit.
Something I remember earlier was someone saying that and quote unquote must be suffering being a Final Fantasy 7 being a Final Fantasy fan. And I'm like, how so? What I mean is the fact that Square Enix puts biggest emphasis on the newest numbered entry, the 7 projects. Which is like, I mean, one, just putting other Final Fantasy spin-offs and remaster stuff that get made. Unless they mean like in scale, which I guess that makes sense because most of the budgets is primarily saved for mainline entries and the 7 games, which makes sense. I mean, Gilgamesh is literally the most reoccurring character in the entirety of Final Fantasy franchise. Again, we don't do enough about they don't do much of Final Fantasy 5.
God damn it, I pressed LB, bro.
Hey, it means more time on the gen. It's big
true.
brain. Can I just do it on purpose?
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
It's mad at you.
But yeah, they showed off Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which we were meant to talk about earlier. And the fact, well, I didn't talk about stream. My model talk about the fact that he was wondering if certain scenes of that were in the original. Y'all have, I don't know what's going on. I have an idea of what's going on, but it's also the fact that, you know, it's following up Summon Remake. And well, I think Summon Remake is a good game. The freaking twist they decided to do with it is like, I'm still pissed off that it's not a remake. Despite the fact that it's called Summon Remake, it's not actually a remake. But with what they're going, I don't know, man. I don't want to say it's something. It sounds like fanfic because that's
coming 100%.
Let's
See, where's he? I gotta see if he's coming upstairs first. Yep.
What for you? There's the fact that's like, I didn't really care for some remakes twist of, look, it's actually a sequel, not a remake. It was like, that just annoyed me because I want a remake, not a sequel. And there's a whole entire thing of just stuff they feel they're pulling out of their butt. Like, it's weird how it's a game that feels like it's made for FF7 OG fans because there's stuff that you won't understand without playing the OG game. And also feels like it was made for people who just heard that, oh, Sephiroth's this big, cool, and powerful guy that's super amazing and cool. And so they made him completely absurd. You can say I ain't gonna play it. Okay, the big reveal of Summon Remake. Spoilers ahead. So throughout the game, it's mostly been an actual pretty faithful remake for the most part. There are new segments that expand on the game, but throughout the game, there are these weird little... He had a grab. That's what they for a slice. Go on him. But there are these things that keep interrupting the characters occasionally, and they are called the Whispers of Fate. The Whispers of Fate are essentially the planet itself, because the planet FF7 basically has its own sentience. Basically trying its best to prevent anything going off the canon. Essentially, picture Final Fantasy VII OG as the prime dimension, and 7 Remake is essentially an alternate dimension with the planet itself trying to ensure that everything happens the exact same way the OG did. You know, except for the parts where it blatantly didn't happen the same way the OG did, but, you know, ways consistency. So the idea is that Sephiroth is literally above fate itself, because reasons. And so he essentially manipulates the party into killing off the Whispers, thus making it so this universe, so every timeline can now be altered. Now every dimension no longer has to follow the storyline of the OG FF7. So basically, Summon Rebirth is the idea of things still being similar to the original, but clearly things are also being different. Such as the game showed that several of the characters were apparently died when the plate fell, which is not what happened in OG7. It's not happened in the remake. People have theories for that, but we'll get to that later. But basically, it's this weird thing. It's the whole time this weird. It's basically a really weird.
Oh, guess I'm dying.
I forgot you were there. My bad. I'm sorry.
It's a fine.
I had to say anything until it's too late.
Because I thought somebody was coming, but then I noticed you were healing over there, and I was like, oh, never mind, I'm dead. I thought Ace was gonna do some maneuver shit, but he was being chased.
I thought Wesker was proxy camping you, or something.
Nah, Ace was running him, but I thought Ace managed to lose him, but I was wrong.
So anywho, basically they shoot horde. What? You okay there?
The killer! Oh my god, we just went against Fidel Castro.
Damn, so he took a break from killing zombies to play Dead by Daylight?
Yeah!
Man, first Armand tells me that apparently I played DBD against two big DBD content, two DBD streamers, and now apparently I'm playing DBD against Fidel Castro. What a crazy world.
Truly.
So basically, after defeating the Whispers of Fate, the characters are essentially on the quote-unquote unknown journey, which what Seven Rebirth says is the unknown journey because at this point, anything could happen. See, now you made it big, you go against Hitler.
Oh my god. No way out.
But freaking, so kind of on an unknown journey because anything could happen, and they're basically trying to put the idea that anything different can happen. Which when in the new trailer, Sephiroth mentions playing a pronoun game. He says how I killed her, so who was she? We don't know who he's talking about. And if people think he's actually talking about Tifa because Tifa's on screen at that moment, they're an idiot. That's called misdirection. But freaking, basically the idea that at this point anything could happen. On top of that, there's also the fact that Ace effed it up, Ace effed it up, Ace effed it up, Ace effed it up.
Ace?
The Ace, freaking Ash. So here's the thing. Okay, we'll talk about remake. I'll get to OG7 in a bit. But in remake, Sephiroth essentially is above Fate. How? Who knows? So he's basically trying to seemingly alter the timeline to create an alternate future where he wins? Question mark? We don't know. We don't know what his end goal is. Either way, in the Rebirth trailer, it's basically trying to make you question what's actually going on in the events of the game, if it's going to be stick to the original, or do its own thing. So there's stuff... So there's stuff from the original that's actually there, but then there's stuff that isn't there that's brand new. For some remake, the game cuts to an important event in 7, where a character named Zack Fair ends up making a last stand against an army of Shinra soldiers. In OG FF7, Zack dies doing this, and this death ends up causing Cloud to essentially believe he was Zack. So that's why he says, "I'm a soldier first class," even though he's not a part soldier. He has Zack's memory and believes that everything Zack did was something he did. In 7 Remake, they show you an alternate dimension where because the party defeated the Whispers, Zack lived. We'll get to Advent Children. Don't worry, everything ties in. There is no escape from FF7 multiverse. There is no escape. So currently, 7 Remake, you have the party walking around, and in an alternate timeline, you have Zack also walking around with his own alternate timeline Cloud, who is several years younger.
Does he get the reference?
Oh, I didn't even notice he had deadlock. I also like
yeah, I
Barney.
barely saw it.
So anywho, there is currently 2 different versions of Cloud technically walking around. 7 Remake got re-released on PS5 and PC. It's called Remake Intergrade. It includes this new storyline involving Yuffie, who is from the OG game, but they're showing you stuff she did New stuff, by the way, for this version that she did before me in the party. Out of the storyline because you think I'm gonna play? You think I'm gonna pay money to play as Yuffie? I hated Yuffie in the OG game. You think I'm gonna pay $20 to play as Yuffie?
Yeah.
All
Just
I know
like
is that
you would pay for the Kasumi DLC in P5R, right, man?
I didn't pay for that DLC.
I said just like you would.
Anywho, so they added a bit to the ending where Zack goes back to the church in order to meet Aerith. When he goes there, Aerith's not there, and Stacy sees a bunch of people there is questioning where Aerith is. That's where Remake Intergrade ends. Rebirth, based on a theory, which is not proven, but a theory people have is that the dead body to the party, the party being found, may be because Zack has to do with a consequence of Zack living. But why would Zack living have the entire party die? And why would Cloud be there if Cloud should also be? When again, Cloud's not that much younger between Crisis and the Crisis Core and 7 proper. He's like a few months younger. But still, why would Cloud be there dead? And why would Zack not be there helping out his friend Cloud? Anywho, that's storycraft, and it doesn't matter. Now, you mentioned the movie, Advent Children. Advent Children is the sequel to Final Fantasy VII, and it's a sequel to Final Fantasy VII. Advent Children is not well liked, but in Remake, you do fight these three ghosts that claim that they're remnants from the future that are trying to stop you from basically McFlying them. How are they supposed to get this? I don't know. I have seen new fans play Remake. They did not understand the ending. They didn't know who Zack was. They didn't know what anything was. And it's advertised as for newcomers. Like, no, you need to know FF7 or to know, in order to even know freaking Remake, because you don't know who Zack is. Like I said, they don't explain Zack. I say Zack, that's his name, but if you play the Remake, it's just some guy. You just see some guy fighting an army of soldiers, and he just says this line saying, "Protect their honor as soldier." And you don't know who he is. Then after you beat the Whispers, it cuts to him, and he apparently killed the.
Oh my. Okay. Wow.
Yes, exactly. That's just, they said how you can start FF7 from Rebirth, and it's like, no, duh, they won't say no. If they say no, then they can't take your money. Well, freaking.
Ooh, Psycho Man. Hello there.
Just facts. That's a joke. No one here will get.
I'm more of a fan of most of the slash mainly facts. Yeah, I don't get it.
It's a YouTuber joke. It's a YouTube channel.
Oh no. Oh no. The fucking Lori's just like, what?
So during the Whispers boss fight, you fight these three ghosts that are basically implied to be the spirits of these villains from Advent Children having come back in time in order to stop the party from creating a new future, which will then undo their creation. During the fight, the Whispers is sending visions of the of events from FF7 into the party's minds. The party have no idea what it is, and Red 13 just said Red 13, who can see the future thanks to Aerith, just says our fate if we fail here today. Mind you, the first vision is just a vision of Red 13 running through a field. If you know FF7, you're like, okay, you can understand why that would make them worry. If you don't know FF7, It's Blight. It's just Red 13 being upset about running in a field, and he's like, "We must prevent this future." And it's like, bruh, just you're running in a field. What's the problem? If you know FF7, then you know what shows afterwards. After went to the field, you see Midgar completely abandoned and destroyed, and overgrown with plant life, which implies that humanity died off, which is also kind of normal in the world of 7. Also, technically that's not what happened at all, because nothing says humanity died off. Either way, freaking 7 Remake requires content of OG FF7 because there'll be points you just don't understand. Here's the thing, Sephiroth is not explained in Remake, and he shows up a lot, and they make a bad excuse. In OG FF7, they kept Sephiroth hidden to add to his mystique and also make him seem more powerful, showing these feats that he did, and you don't even know how powerful this guy is. In Remake, Sephiroth constantly just shows up and bugs Cloud because that's basically what he's known for nowadays. He's just known as that weird guy who annoys Cloud. And it just so like Sephiroth first shows up like after the first level of the effing game. And you have no idea what's going on and why he's there. Not helped by the fact that the Sephiroth Cloud is seeing is not real. But a new player doesn't know that. They don't explain Sephiroth. See, people go to the game and be like, what makes Sephiroth so special? Who's Sephiroth? Who is this guy? It's like, yeah, the game doesn't tell me nothing. You know who Sephiroth is.
Bro, that's so annoying. Literally 100% and Scorcher fucking killed it. And he didn't come here. Okay. Interesting.
Ah, fuck. That's on the skill check. Probably gonna go to me now.
Nah. He's coming to me. You're fine. Or not. He's... I don't know what he's
What
doing.
makes this weird... It's coming to me. What makes this weirder is how there are 7 Remake fans who refuse to play OG. And it's like... Good luck following the story, motherfuckers. You're not gonna play the OG. Hell, they released Crisis Core Reunion. Crisis Core Reunion is a remaster of OG of Crisis Core. Crisis Core is a prequel to Final Fantasy VII where you play as Zack. So basically, they spoil that Cloud claiming he's part of Soldier is a lie. Which they also do in the remake, where they have the scientist Hojo tell Cloud, "My boy, you were never a part of," and the whispers yeet him before he can finish that sentence, because Cloud is supposed to know they weren't actually part of Soldier yet, which is weird because in the trailer for Rebirth, Tifa is telling someone how Cloud wasn't there during the Nibelheim incident because Cloud wasn't part of Soldier. He was a grunt, so he hid underneath his helmet to. What the fuck just happened? Dude just humped my butt. Good job, Michaela. So in the actual, here's his thing. What Cloud believes happened in the Nibelheim incident. He believes that he went there with Sephiroth, met Tifa, met his mom, everything. Sephiroth went crazy, burned down the village. Tifa wants to go confront Sephiroth, gets attacked. Cloud confronts Sephiroth, he ends up losing, and then some mysterious person ends up defeating Sephiroth. That's what Cloud believes. What actually happened is that Cloud hid his identity, so Tifa doesn't actually know he was there. So Tifa fights Sephiroth, gets cut down. Zack fights Sephiroth and loses. Then Cloud ends up fishing off Sephiroth. That is what actually happened. And the Rebirth trailer, they have Tifa mention that she never saw Cloud there. Which makes sense, she didn't. So it makes you, in case you're wondering, wait,
if Tifa didn't see Cloud there, then how can Cloud keep up this lie in LGFF7? We'll get to how stupid I feel Tifa's character is in LG577. But basically, they've already revealed that Cloud's memories are lies, which is a big twist of OGFF7. That is a major twist that Cloud was wrong. And yet they've spoiled it by releasing Crisis Core Reunion, and they spoiled it by freaking having Tifa and Rebirth say that Cloud wasn't actually there in the Nemo incident. So I don't know what the hell they're doing. And there are people trying to make the argument that if you think about it, Rebirth is a great place for new players. No, it's not. But you see, you come to the Nibelheim incident. You mean the lie Nibelheim incident that Tifa already is saying already makes no sense in the Rebirth trailer? Because it's not what actually happened. It's just so weird how they're handling things. And there are people who think, why is everyone here? Why would it goddamn Avengers? So it's weird that, like, new players can join in. It's like, no, they cannot. They couldn't join in at 7 Remake. They can still join in here. Hell, there were people upset that Crisis Core Reunion, which I mentioned was a remaster of Crisis Core, didn't include content for 7 Remake. People, honest to God, expected they would rewrite Crisis Core's ending to basically match what happens to Zack at the end of 7 Remake. Which even the writer of the game is like, well, not the writer, the director of the game is like, bruh, if we change the ending like that, the remaster serves no point. So here's my problem why I don't like Tifa in any form of FF7.
Oh, thank God, challenge done.
I mentioned how Cloud's memories are lies, and you would think, well, if Tifa knows that Cloud didn't fight Sephiroth, then how can Cloud get away with this lie? Get ready for this. Great character writing. Tifa lies for Cloud because she knows Cloud is not mentally okay and would rather just keep up this lie than actually tell him the truth. And she does this for most of FF7. Tifa knows that Cloud's story is not true, and she keeps up the lie. In fact, when Cloud starts remembering Zack, Tifa starts going, "You remembered?" But she doesn't elaborate until much later in the game, where Cloud's in a comatose state, and Tifa has to basically put Cloud's memories back together in the live stream, which is where Tifa finds out that Cloud was there as the Grunt, and that's where Cloud realizes that his memories were based off of some guy, of a person named Zack. And that Zack was the one who fought. Zack was the soldier first class. Zack was the one who fought Sephiroth. Zack was the one who went to Nibelheim with Sephiroth. I mean, technically Cloud did too because he was there, but he wasn't the soldier first class.
Does Laurie have adrenaline?
Yes.
Okay, good. Ah.
How the hell did you not see you?
I was about to say. Can't believe that fucking worked.
So it's
He's not coming back? Okay.
So it's not a dumb thing when it comes to 7 Remake people's expectations. Like, when you fight Sephiroth in 7 Remake, any sense of logic goes straight out the window. You may say, didn't go out the window before? No, it gets even worse. During Sephiroth's boss fight, okay, I'm first something to know is the feats of the character in Final Fantasy VII. In Final Fantasy VII Remake, the characters
fight monsters and machinery. Okay. There's an entire puzzle in that game where you have to freaking do a puzzle with Tifa that involves freaking climbing stuff like a freaking as if it were a freaking jungle gym, and it's because the party can't make this jump, even though in gameplay they can easily make that jump. Either way, they try to hide the idea that the characters are powerful, but they're not like Superman. I say this because during the Sephiroth boss fight, Sephiroth throws an entire building at the party, and Cloud cuts through the building. And I know people try to go, what's the issue with that moment? It's like having children. When the rest of your game is nothing like that, you start to question things, such as, if he could do that, why was he struggling with effing mechs? When apparently Cloud could cut through a goddamn building. So in OGFF7, the technical final boss fight is against the Sephiroth in Cloud's head. That is the version of Sephiroth that Cloud performs Omni Slash against and defeats. In the remake, they try to recreate that scene, all Advent Children style, but instead, the Sephiroth in his head ends up blocking every hit of Omni Slash, highlighting that Cloud at this point is not strong enough to defeat Sephiroth, even though dudes can't do buildings. Did I hug Makila once? I don't know. No. Slippery girl. I was hit with distortion. Spirit Burst OP.
Okay. Okay. I'ma just hit continue.
So Sarah remake is just gets all over. And then the other weird part is before you fight the Whispers, so Aerith can see the future. Aerith knows everything that's gonna happen within the events of the game. Why can she see the future? Because she's a freaking Cetra. Why is that allowed to see the future? Because the Cetra basically won't want the planet in the live stream. Why does it allow her to see the future? F.U. K7 Remake. That's why. So, Aerith is clearly not the same person as the OG game, because she knows the future, knows future events. Before you fight the Whispers, Aerith goes from making sense, from doing what can only describe the most Kingdom Hearts-esque dialogue possible, which is essentially, you're saying a lot of words, but in reality, you're saying nothing. I know people go, oh, you compare it to Kingdom Hearts, but Final Fantasy is absurd. Kingdom Hearts is absurd. But there's a way that Kingdom Hearts characters talk that is memed about because they're saying a lot without saying much, without saying anything at all. And Aerith suddenly starts talking like that, where she starts talking this grandiose thing and just refuses to explain what's going on. There's even a point where Aerith tells Cloud basically not to fall in love with her, because she knows that in the future she's gonna die. Then I get to that big moment. The players are literally shown a vision of the aftermath of Aerith's death. If you know FF7, you know that scene. If you don't know FF7, you probably know that scene because it's freaking memed on and famous. But you don't know the aftermath, so you don't know that scene. So it's weird how the Whispers are showing them visions of something that, if you didn't play FF7, you know what's going on. Like, people keep praising Square Enix for their plan, but I feel the streamer, Maximilian dude, put it best. He wanted to say that you wouldn't do something this crazy with a plan. He wanted to say that, but he said, I can't do that because Star Wars exists. Star Wars had this crazy big shake-up idea and didn't have a plan, so it fell apart.
Very true, I can confirm.
So he's like, I want to say that Square Enix planned this out, but you can't say that because Star Wars exists. So this could easily just fall apart. People see the Whispers as a metaphor for people who want the game to be like OG. And it's like, I don't like that interpretation because that basically means that basically implies the developers are holding the fans. Other people see it as developers trying to free themselves from not having to make a one-to-one remake, which you need to make a remake at all. You could have just been honest and told people it's not a remake. But honesty wouldn't sell. There's people who didn't buy Crisis Core because freaking they believe that Crisis Core... No. Crisis Core Reunion was released on every modern platform. There are people who don't own a PC or a PS4, PS5 who didn't buy Crisis Core Reunion for the reasoning of, oh, it's why would I put a prequel if the main game's not there? Crisis Core is a prequel to OG FF7, not to remake. Technically, it is because remake is a sequel to OG FF7. But it's the fact that people didn't want to buy Crisis Core because without Summon Remake, what's the point? When Summon Remake came out, FF7 fans started shitting on FF7 so hard because OG FF7, it looks old. No shit, it's a game from the 90s. What you want from it? It looks so bad, it looks so janky. Guess what? It was HD for its time. The FMVs were HD for its time. The FMVs still look good. Fuck you. And people being like, it's turn-based combat? That's so old and trash. That's awful gameplay. Like, never understand. The biggest FF7 haters on the planet are FF7 fans. Its own fan base or its own biggest haters. And what I also hate is people who go, 7 remake is just what I wanted. I didn't want a remake. Then why the fuck did you ask for a remake for like over a decade? When it's FF7, Square Enix made a tech demo for PS3. The tech demo recreated the intro to FF7. Since that tech demo came out, people want a one-to-one remake of FF7 for years. Now that they didn't get one, suddenly they pretend like that was not what they wanted to begin with, which is incredibly hypocritical and stupid. Now, outside of because 7 Remake is basically the multiverse coming together of FF7, Dirge of Cerberus. Dirge of Cerberus is a sequel to FF7 that's released on the PS2 where you play as Vincent, where you play as Vincent Valentine. Vincent Valentine is a party member, optional party member, from OG FF7. He's also pretty relevant to the plot, but he was still optional. He has his own spin-off game, which is a sequel, which basically played like a third-person shooter. Kind of weird for a bit, but also pretty entertaining. Pretty alright. There's a character who was only in that game, and that character was added to Remake Intergrade as an optional boss fight in this freaking Coliseum thing. So he's not actually part of the story, but it was added in.
Doctor.
So they're basically trying to add everything from FF7 related projects. In fact, the bombing mission in the beginning of FF7 Remake actually references the game Final Fantasy Before Crisis. What's Final Fantasy Before Crisis? A Japan exclusive cell phone game, and I don't mean touchscreen cell phone, I mean flip phone game, where you play as a member of the Turks during essentially the gap between Crisis Core and FF7 proper. They reference that goddamn mobile game. In fact, there are characters from FF7 novels who are now fully fledged characters in 7 Remake. I'm gonna just say this. People hate the YouTuber Donkey. And honestly, he gets a lot of reasons to be hated. But some of the stuff he says about 7 Remake is just flat out true and people are in denial. After complaint that 7 Remake is padded out, because 7 Remake took a 6 to 8 hour segment of FF7 and stretched it to 40 hours. We want to recreate every nook and cranny. No, you freaking did it. F you. You pad that game out to hell and back. You basically added segments from later in the game to Midgar just because you want to put it in. Omar, what are you doing right now?
I'm getting the other person.
Okay. So 7 Remake is stretched out because it's trying to include everything from FF7 proper. Like, someone put it best. Any unique freaking backdrop from FF7 was turned into its own dungeon. Any unique enemy was turned into its own boss fight. Which also means that now your generic enemies are just that, generic enemies. Any cool looking generic enemies are now a boss fight. Whether it makes sense or not. And one of the things people cared about was see the enemy Hell House. Hell House is literally a sentient freaking house that eats people. They turned it into a boss fight in a coliseum that didn't exist in the OG game. Why did the coliseum? Well, because the Golden Saucer has a coliseum. Golden Saucer is outside Midgar. We can't do that. Again, oh, you got that right, okay. So, they essentially made a bootleg Golden Saucer and put it in Midgar. I'm gonna say this, and I'm not exaggerating. During that Coliseum section of Remake, I actually forgot why Cloud and Aerith were even in a Coliseum to begin with. I forgot what the plot was. And then I remembered and went, oh yeah. At that point in the game, see, one of the most famous things of FF7, well, famous things, FF7 that people want to see recreated was an entire segment where Cloud has to cross-dress in order to sneak into Don Corneo's mansion in order to help Tifa. In the OG game, you did some short-lived side stuff in order to freaking get the stuff for Cloud to get to disguise himself. But if you did everything perfectly, then you would actually, like, Cloud would actually win. He would be chosen by Don Corneo to be the person he bangs for the night. If you call that winning. If you lose, then he basically tries to have his goons assault you. Which Cloud immediately removes the disguise and beats them up. In Remake, you have to now go through a Coliseum. You have to freaking go through a Coliseum, play two more fleshed out rhythm game sections. And they come out of nowhere, by the way. But again, FF7
He's here.
Again, FF7 is the champion of out of nowhere mini games. Oh my god, I can't remember saying this. So in the OG game, Cloud goes to the Honeybee Inn, which was basically a brothel, and basically goes in there in order to get some stuff for disguise. In the remake, they didn't want the place to actually be a brothel anymore, so they changed it to be like just this like fancy club, like fancy theater instead. And instead, Cloud has to do a freaking on-stage dance and performance. Mind you, Cloud can't dance, but suddenly once he needs to dance, he suddenly can. And you have to play this bad rhythm game in order for Cloud to get his disguise. Before that, you need these proofs in order to meet Don Corneo. Yes, you need proof. The whole point of woman throwing up to the Don Corneo is the fact that he literally just freaking has women line up. But now you need special tickets to prove yourself good enough, apparently. So you go to Coliseum to get one of the proofs and to also help someone else. So you can then get the disguise so Cloud can go there. And in Remake, you can't lose the competition. Cloud always wins. It's part of the script. So there is no alternate scene where Cloud freaking loses. So all this to do something that normally took less than an hour in the OG has now been stretched out to multiple hours, not including side quests, mind you. Because, oh god, the Sarah Remake love its side quests. It's just like so ridiculous how much this was stretched out. The freaking in the OG game, the bouncer for Don Corneo was just that, just some dude. In the remake, he's now an entire character named Leslie, who's actually apparently from one of the novels. But he has an entire backstory where he had a fiance and he lost that fiance to Don Corneo. So he's upset and angry, and that's why he basically helps Cloud and Co. But there's a point. You see after Vane Don Corneo's mansion and getting some info from him, the party gets thrown into a sewer and fights a boss. In the remake, the sewer is now an entire freaking dungeon because F you. And there's a point where you need help from Leslie, and Leslie will help you to get his freaking pendant back, which he lies about, and basically requires you to go to the sewer level a second time. When in actuality, he's gonna go get revenge on Don Corneo.
Me and Steve are about to pop it, Jen. Get to the door.
Fails because what do you expect? And the party has to save him. The fact that Leslie has an entire freaking story thing is so unnecessary for a guy who you're probably never gonna see again, because you're not going back to Midgar. You don't go back to Midgar in the OG game. Once you leave Midgar, you're done with Midgar. But so many characters need to be more fleshed out for some reason.
He opened the door?
There's this freaking reporter lady named Kyrie, who also is from a novel, and she's also a character now. It just exists. Because why do you have not, I guess? Y'all exiting?
Yeah, we're coming to the exit that you were opening. I don't know where 8th went.
It's just something just like so... just feels so unnecessary.
Ace is getting chased. Is he near us? Okay, there he is. No, Noed, let's see. Nope, no, Noed.
Oh, what are the stuff that was freaking padded out? Oh yeah, the ghost. Oh yeah, one of the most infamous things I padded out. The freaking robot hand.
He was trying Adept.
Oh. The effing robot hand. You see, in OG FF7, there's a section in this junkyard where there's this robot hand in the background. Cool little thing. So the remake decided, nah, let's turn that into an entire dungeon where you have to fight these freaking joke goons multiple times, and you have to also do a puzzle involving a robot hand. You see, because Cloud needs to get Aerith across a gap so she can kick down a ladder for him. So they do an entire puzzle that involves moving boxes with the crane hand and moving Aerith, because apparently can't do both. Apparently can't do both for some reason. It's not as best as people make it out to be, but it's just like, why are we doing this? Also, Cloud can jump like 10 feet in the air. He doesn't need to do this. And this is all the lead up to freaking Wall Market, which is the now big freaking market and now Midgar for the remake. And you may ask, considering that this market wasn't here in the OG and it was a Coliseum, do the Whispers do anything? No! The Whispers do nothing about this. What the fuck? None of this stuff was in OG because the Whispers don't make the Whispers are consistent. Like I mentioned this to Armando about how the Whispers are consistent. So in Final Fantasy 7, part of Avalanche are these characters named Big, Wedge, and Jesse. They don't say a lot, and they die, and we don't talk about them ever again. Remake wants to make them into more, I can't even say more interesting, just more of them, and they're all just one-note trait characters. For some people, they like that one note. And a lot of people actually like Jessie in the remake. I find her fucking annoying. She's a cloud simp, that's all her character is. She's a person thirsting for Cloud's dick 24/7. That's all she does. I don't need that, and the game doesn't need that. Tifa's right there. We need two Sims. Ray just hit me. What? Yes, Tifa is the Italian senator. Yes, I'm glad you noticed how she went from owning a bar to becoming Italian from owning a bar to fighting Sephiroth to becoming an Italian senator. Yes.
God damn it.
Yes, she was an Italian senator. She went places. That Tifa. She certainly went places. Anywho, freaking. That's pretty just Jesse's character. They try to do a thing. Horny knows no bounds. I mean, not necessarily the fault of the character, the person who made the animation. The fault is the fact that that freaking person was watching that while having an important meeting. You know what the biggest sex symbol of Final Fantasy? Stretch that to one of the biggest sex symbols in gaming. Period. Yes. There was a whole debacle for some of the remake prior to release where people thought they nerfed Tifa's tits. And people were actually mad about this, and it's like, we're talking about freaking video game boobs over here. Y'all got no priorities, do you? Y'all got like no actual priorities going in their life, don't you? Also, this is the same freaking franchise where Motomo Toriyama is he's one of the people who helped make Final Fantasy 7, but Motomo Toriyama is the director of Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. They include 13, 13, 2, 13, 3. The character of Lightning, aka Claire Farron, is literally his waifu. He strip designed Lightning to be his waifu. In fact, the way he talks about Lightning in freaking interviews, you can tell how much he freaking loves Lightning. When 13.3 came out, he wanted Lightning to have.
Oh, great! I was having such a good night too.
What was it? Oh, that's her favorite. What's her favorite?
Ah, man, I love Call of Duty. Woo!
But freaking when 13.3 came out, 13.3, Lightning was the only playable character. So and Toriyama wanted boob physics. Problem is, Lightning does not have comically sized tits. So you may ask yourself, what's the solution? How does Toriyama get the boob jiggle he wants from his waifu if her boobs aren't big enough? The answer: he increased Lightning's boob size from a B to like a D. Like either a D or a double D, because he wanted to see her boobs jiggle. And he talked about this on an interview and bragged about it. And I'm like, are y'all worried about Tifa's tits? Dude, freaking 13.3 is just basically a man's horny post. This man took the job system from FF3 and 5 and basically used it as an excuse to have Lightning just dress up in different outfits. And that includes DLC outfits where she dresses up as different Final Fantasy characters. And also different Square Enix characters. Like, that's an outfit which dress up as freaking Lara Croft from the Tomb Raider reboot. Either way, yes, dude's thirsty AF. So freaking back to Final Fantasy. So there's an entire segment where Jessie wants Cloud to help her do something. So you do this one turn motorcycle section that was not an OG. Get chased by this soldier guy who was not in the OG at all, named Roche. Have to do a boss fight on a motorcycle. See, basically horny the Bayonetta creator. No, for the reason that Hideki Kamiya gets upset when people depict Bayonetta as a sub in porn. So no. Kamiya takes his obsession with Bayonetta to a whole new level. How this is a guy who points out to people when they make Bayonetta fan art when they forget her mole. So no, none is more hornier than Camilla. Anywho, freaking, you do this whole entire boss with a brand new character with not an OG, and the Whispers do nothing. You do an entire segment where you have to help, where it's a freaking sneak into Jesse's parents' house to get a key card. All of which was not in the remake, but not an original. Freaking Jesse's parents didn't exist in the OG, and yet the Whispers had no issue. In the OG game, Avalanche blew up the Mako reactor when they used their bomb. In the remake, they changed it to where the bomb caused a small explosion that basically disconnected the power plant, and then Shinra orders their own troops, orders their own devices to destroy the power plant and blow it up to make Avalanche look bad. And I hate that. And I hate that idea because just like really, something that seemed like Avalanche weren't terrorists. Are y'all for real?
Yeah, go reload.
Anywho, freaking, you fight Roche and everything, and the Whispers do nothing, despite Roche never being an OG game. In the OG, when Cloud met Aerith in the church, a member of the Turks named Reno shows up. Cloud and Aerith run from Reno and escape. In the remake, however, Cloud fights Reno and is about to kill him until the Whispers stop Cloud and then yeet both him and Aerith out of the room because Cloud can't kill Reno. Even though Cloud shouldn't have fought Reno to begin with because he didn't fight Reno in the OG. While trying to escape, part of the passage breaks and Aerith ends up stuck on the ground. In freaking OG, nothing broke, so Aerith just escaped just fine. In the remake, something breaks, so the Whispers fly around Aerith to protect her from the Shinra soldiers, so Cloud has enough time to make a new exit for Aerith. But once again, was not in the OG. But the Whispers, don't worry, the Whispers are here to fix that. You know, by that logic, the Whispers should have made it to where the Force shouldn't have broken to begin with. Because one of the bigger ones, and was actually used as a bait moment in the trailers. There's a moment in the game where Sephiroth shows up in the Shinra owner's office. Barrett tries to shoot Sephiroth, but the Whispers get in the way because Barrett can't shoot Sephiroth yet.
Love that caught aim, don't ya?
So freaking Sephiroth teleports past the Whispers and kills Barrett. He then leaves a fragment of Genova on the ground, and the party has to fight it, basically recreating what happened when Aerith died and the boss fight directly after Aerith's death. Except the Whispers just immediately revive Barrett because Barrett wasn't meant to die yet. That's when the party is confused because at this point the Whispers have only been harmful. Also another divergence. Cloud goes with Barrett on 2 bombing runs. In the remake, Barrett says that Cloud services won't be needed after the first bombing run, and there and then the Whispers should have stopped Cloud because Cloud is supposed to be there for the second bombing run. Instead, the game decides to have it to where freaking the Whispers send an entire army of people, entire army of Whispers, a freaking army that Cloud and Tifa have to fight some of them through. And you may ask, what do you need an entire army for? What would require an entire army of these
I love being behind a wall and it doesn't fucking protect me.
What requires an entire army for this freaking godlike beings who can resurrect people? The answer? They needed an army to push Jesse down some stairs. You see, by injuring Jessie and breaking her ankle, that means Barrett now needs Cloud for the second bombing run, which means that Cloud, means that Cannon is not restored. Yes, they send an entire army of ghosts just to push one woman down a 5 stairs. The whispers make total sense, don't they?
Oh, Jill. Oh, Jill. I love you.
True sacrifice will never be forgotten. Like how we all took turns freaking vaulting the window. Really, Kate's teabagging. So the whispers are completely inconsistent. There's a point where Wedge is supposed to die. Wedge. Yeah, where Wedge is supposed to die. And Wedge ends up getting saved. Which is like, alright. Hero, says Kate.
It really was. I'll do one more.
Never forget.
Exactly.
Says Kate, never forget this hero. GG, boys. Alright. So freaking... Oh my god. Oh yeah, and this stupid moment thing that they did. So, while freaking Avalanche is trying to stop the Turks from dropping a plate, you have a thing where freaking Jesse is going to throw a bomb at the Turks' jet in order to stop them, but the Whispers instead make the bomb blow up in her hand or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Either way, Jesse dies because she's supposed to die. Also, Cloud's big dramatic words to Jesse are "I shit you not, you owe me a pizza." People defend this line. You see, the context is that Jesse promised Cloud one of her mom's freaking pizzas that's apparently really good. But if Jesse dies, he can't get the pizza. So it's Cloud's way of saying that you can't die yet. Thing is, that line is still stupid, and people defend it. I call some fans out for this because in Kingdom Hearts 2 over 2 days, a similar line is said by Roxas, where he tells a dying Shion who will I have ice cream with, was supposed to be the same thing of you can't die yet. People hate that line. I think it's cringy, but they defend the Yomi a pizza line, even though it's just as bad. So Cloud and gang try to fight the Turks and to stop them, but the Whispers get in the way, preventing the gang from stopping them, and the Turks drop the plate. Thing is, in the OG game, you don't know how many people died. In the remake, they extensively show you Aerith going out of her way in order to save Barrett's daughter, Marlene, meaning you pretty much know that practically no one died in that plate falling at all. On top of the fact that for some reason Aerith went to go help Marlene instead of having Wedge do it, because Marlene knows Wedge, she doesn't know who Aerith is. So Aerith, in a hurry, needs to get Marlene to come with her, and Marlene won't because stranger danger?
Holy shit.
What types of the channel? I don't know what to say right now.
I don't know what to say either. I don't know. Let's see some shenanigans. I don't know. I can't even know what to even say. I can't.
Anywho, Aerith has to convince Marlene to come with her. In the OG game, she does this off screen. But in the remake, they show you what she's trying to do, and Marlene won't go with her because she's a stranger. So Aerith's way to comfort Marlene is to give her the ability to see the future. Because I'll comfort a child knowing the future. So here's where things. This is one thing that I get what they're doing, but still stupid. So one thing that apparently people really got upset with in the OG game is that when Aerith's kidnapped, she tries to give the party pretty much advice to help rescue her. Well, no, she tries to tell the party that Marlene is safe. But in the OG game, her kidnapper, who's part of the Turks, named Seng, freaking slaps her across the face for doing that. Apparently people really hated that scene, and the remake's version is incredibly dumb. So the remake version of the scene is that rather than slapping her, Sung instead freaking calls in a troop to freaking take Aerith away from the camera. Which, you know, alright, makes sense. My issue is that when he calls the guy over, they blatantly animated it to make it look like he was about to backhand Aerith for a second.
It's clown.
They did that on purpose. They knew what they were doing animating that scene. To make you think that they're going to animate the guy freaking smacking Aerith across the face, but instead freaking changed it to he just clocked someone over. Speaking of unnecessary changes, Scarlet from Shinra. She's a high-ranking freaking Shinra person. What did the remake do? Give her simps, both inside and outside the game. She literally has a freaking a Shinra troop who literally acts as her chair, and even crawls and walks on all fours for her. That's what she needed. Both simps inside and outside the game. This is a weird change. I don't ever got much to say about it. It's just weird.
He's not going for me.
He's going for me. Dang, they start for the gen. Really, game? You gonna assault balls that fast? Wait, what? That counted? You ain't letting that mess down. Also found a freaking tome that's blocked off. That might be freaking
Plaything.
Yeah, play thing. So in the OG game, the party goes to invade Shinra Tower in order to go save Aerith. In the remake, they do that too. Except they want to stretch it out. So first, the party needs to climb these broken skyscrapers so they can get high up. Then use these grappling hook devices to go on top of the plate in order to get to Shinra Tower. Then you need to go through Shinra Tower, but in a slow manner. Then once they finally get to Aerith, for 5 billion years, they then get dropped to the basement of Shinra Tower. So to go to the basement section, it goes on for 5 billion years, and then you get to the segment where you back to Shinra Tower at the top and confront freaking President Shinra because we're so padded out so hard. It's literally a segment in the basement where the freaking men and women get separated. Why? Cause padding. Because we want to stretch a 6 to 8 hour segment to 40 hours. So then you do the famous motorcycle scene, except the real one, not the fake, not the one that had to do earlier for the remake. And this segment is trash in the remake. Granted, it was trash in the OG. Difference in the OG version, the segment was short, so it being bad didn't matter. On a remake, you have to do a boss fight on this motorcycle, and not only does that suck, not only is the boss a sponge, but you can't heal on this. You can't heal yourself, and you can't heal the party's van that they're on. And I could have phrased that better, but I don't care right now. For 5 billion years, restoring that freaking boss fight.
He's here
Oh.
because of obvious barbecue.
Oh, you left? There's more for you.
Yep, because he hasn't playthinged me yet.
My plaything already broke. I broke it immediately.
I've never been hooked. So you broke somebody else's.
And that's when the party finds the entire freaking store. Where Sephiroth shows up, it makes it possible for the party to fight the Whispers. Even though the Whispers shouldn't be there because the party is supposed to leave and escape Midgar at this point. So why are the Whispers blocking the way? Either way, you fight the Whispers, beat them, which for some reason erases the Whispers from every dimension. Hence why Zack is able to live now. Before Remake came out, someone actually leaked the cutscene of Zack living, and I effing canceled my pre-order then and then. I was like, oh, I'm being baited. Nope. Oh, I'm being baited. Yep, was being baited. Like, oh my god.
Man's felt so disgusted.
Cause like, Super Remake's not a bad game. It's a good game. But when you think about everything involving the freaking Whispers, it falls apart. And I know the Whispers aren't in Rebirth, so it doesn't matter. Cause it's still following the setup that this game made, and the setup wasn't a good idea. And I just wanted a freaking remake. I didn't want this Whispers nonsense. And yet people act like, nah, this is better than the original. The original. The original's obsolete. No, it's not. You need the original. You need the original to understand context of the remake. Hell, the fact that people are flipping out over seeing Aerith get slashed by Sephiroth in the Rebirth trailer just tells me they didn't play OG Final Fantasy VII. Because they know that happens. That's not anything new. Hell, you could have put a Crisis Core and known that. But these people didn't. These are new fans who haven't played it.
Oh, blast mind.
And it also annoys me how freaking people for Final Fantasy fans for years try to act like they were above Kingdom Hearts fans and theory crafting. Meanwhile, they're constantly theory crafting and scrounging every single piece of information in order to make theories about Seven Remake and Rebirth. Hell, they literally used Cut and Sephiroth's fights in the Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 as part of their theory. And it's like, huh? You literally became a thing you hated, people. And what y'all do is not a problem. The dumbest thing I've seen said about in regards to 7 Remake is the claim that 7 Remake's not an action game. Which I go, are you high? It is blatantly an action game. To try to say it's not is a lie. It's like, no, it's a turn-based game. Like, how?
If you can come to Killer Shack, the gen I have here is on more progress. I'm at almost 80.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be best to split up and get get both 2 gens done?
I suppose. Oh, I thought we were on 1 gen already. Shit.
Oh, fuzz. Sneeze near me. I'd be mad if I were him. I spun him twice
Oof.
in a row. Seven remake's gonna be a goddamn mess, and there's no chance. Not only that, in order to remind you that Seven Rebirth even exists, they spent a week building up to the trailer by making these tweets or answering questions, and the questions basically answered nothing. Like, people start making their own parodies based on how dumb it was. It literally devolves to the point of, will there be music in Seven Rebirth? Yes. What can you tell about the story? You'll see the characters' destinies. Thanks, it says literally nothing. Why are you making a tweet? Why are you making a big tweet about this? And why are people acting as if they said something important when they didn't? This part's still healing. I'm running.
I didn't even see where he was.
You can hear his music getting closer though.
I didn't see the radius. I was looking for the red stain.
And although people have been convinced that the OG's FF7 ending is a quote-unquote bad ending, like it ends in a bad outcome, and it's like, no, it doesn't at all. Or are y'all making this up? Why y'all doing everything in their power to make Senna Remake look better?
I don't you got somebody to hook, bro? Oh, I wish Claude had a drone.
Just the fact that they shoehorn of Sephiroth's boss fight, and people like it, they just blow their load early, and it's like, no, they didn't blow their load early. They can do so much with Sephiroth in the later games. That reminds me, also the people who defend the 7 remake games being 3 games. Well, it was on 3 discs originally, yeah. Difference is, with OG game, I got all 3 discs when I bought the game. I didn't have to buy the game 3 times.
Where are they?
They're at a Killer Shack.
Are they safe? Is Clown near them?
They're safe.
Okay. Is the other exit gate over there?
Yes, but they're healing on the corner right now.
Okay, so I'm a dip.
Oh, wait, no, it's not on the other side of the map. Whoops. What's on their freaking plane? So like, it's not that far, but they'll probably go for the other one since they're healing up right now. And then freaking 7 Rebirth, like, it's gonna take up 2 PS5 discs. And people like, it's gonna take up 2 PS5 discs. Think of all the stuff they're putting in. And I'm like, bruh, 7 Remake was on 2 PS4 discs, first of all. So one was an installation disc. And 2, wholly uncompressed files, you piece of crap. That not shows how much content it is. That shows how bad they are at compressing their files. And y'all treating it like a positive for some reason.
You guys should really just open this exit. Dwight, you have wake up. Wait, you... Like, he's just camping that exit. You guys could have gotten the other one. But I hope he doesn't have NOED. Guys. Jesus.
I mean, read their names.
Shenanigans, tomfoolery. Really threaten the needle here, Dwight.
Damn, Connor almost got that. Yeah, finish my challenge. Damn it.
Deadlock 3 in the Charmer's Plaything.
That also reminds me, when it comes to OG7 remake, formations is how you set up your party is very important. Very important thing, which also got the remake, which also expanded with the material system. Very important. I say this because in the remake, when you fight Sephiroth, your party is decided at random. No, it's not truly random. It's the fact that no one knows what the actual requirements are. Like, some say it has to do with how many whispers you defeat with each party members during the whisper boss fight, but no one actually knows. So imagine making a formation proper for a boss fight, and the game says, "How about no?" Because we felt like these characters should be the people you play as. It's like, why would you do that for the Sephiroth boss fight? Or what way was that a good idea? Like, my God. Anywho, I at the point I just can't get Hyper in Rebirth, cause just like, oh fuck, they have any idea where they're going. Especially when they said, when OG we treated Sephiroth like Jaws, something hidden, but in remake, everyone knows who Sephiroth is, so we didn't hide him this time. It's like, one, that's a stupid reason, and two, people may have heard of Sephiroth, doesn't mean they know who Sephiroth is. Hell, when Sephiroth got into Smash, there were some funny Simon fans who were mad that not everyone knew who Sephiroth was. It was some fans got pissed at people because not everyone played FF7. The horror, shock. Especially when FF7 Remake sold a fraction of the OG FF7's freaking sales number. Also reminds me when people said to not call it FF7 Remake because it's a lie. But back then, it wasn't like because it was a sequel. It was a lie because it's only part one. And people were like, but if they call it a remake part one, people won't buy it. If being honest to decrease your sales, then you didn't deserve those sales.
Alright, man.
Yeah,
I'm out later.
I just got to call it there. Who's got hyped for the Xbox showcase while they actually officially reveal P3 remake and Persona 5 Tactics?
Nope, I already saw what I need to see. I'm not gonna watch the stream.
Don't do Microsoft like that. They literally have nothing else.
They'll live.
I mean, got that Bill Gates money, so yeah, but like, for how much longer?
Who knows? Good stream. Good day, everyone.
Now he's still on my lines.